taking over this class for this whole year actually, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. We always discover something new, and today we have quite a different topic. It's, do you think that AI will eventually take over the world one day? Is it possible? So I would like to know your input about this. It's quite, like I said, it's quite an interesting topic. That is, if you actually believe AI exists. So I'll start off with Veena. So Veena, what do you think? Do you think, is it
Is it
possible that
possible?
AI will
I'll
take over
go.
the world?
Actually, I'm traveling somewhere. I'll reach in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. No worries. Uh, okay, we'll start from Atul. Atul, what do you think? Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am, it's possible, but not likely, I hope.
Okay. And do you believe in AI? Let's start from there, because if it's possible, you must believe in AI.
Yes, I do. It's not about believing AI, it's about using. We're already using AI. Everybody is using AI. Our phones have AI, our computers have AI. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and most of the things we use, even cars use AI. So, AI also has multiple dimensions to it. So, it's gen, there's something called artificial general intelligence, and this AI also has many levels of development. So, that in school we teach English, math, science. AI will also become part of the essential for everybody. Everybody will have to know AI sooner or later.
Okay. Do you feel now we're in a scary position where AI has already started taking over the world in some degree?
Yes, it has.
And how does it make you feel?
I am comfortable with as long as we know we are in charge. I make sure that I use AI rather than the other way around. It's okay. So I try to make sure that I use AI to my advantage rather than AI using me.
And do you think AI will start to replace human beings?
It will not replace human beings. It will start helping human beings more and more.
Now, the reason why I do ask this, and this is a bit of a counter argument to what you just said, is that in China, there are companies that are today fully functioning on AI. So there's been quite a number of jobs that have been lost because of artificial intelligence. Because we now have robots who can do this job, and they can do this job up to the same standard and be consistent with it. However, there is one thing that AI does not have, and that is a human heart and feelings. In all the things that are related to feelings and intellect, with not with regards to intelligence, but with regards to emotions and morality, and all of these attributes that are very much human. So do you think it's possible? Because it seems as if they have replaced us in a way. Does it make you feel a bit scared of the possibility that they could replace us completely and maybe overtake us?
No, I feel excited that they might be able to free up free up more energy and time for us so that we'll do what we want to do rather than doing things just because a lot of manual work, including calculations, including moving things around. AI will be able to handle much of our boring stuff or repetitive stuff. So AI will do a better job of it. And if you use AI, then many other things, like currently, for example, I'll give a simple example. All of you, most of us use email, like Gmail. But what Gmail does is now they literally even type out our email, some of the things that will draft, and will auto-correct any mistakes or spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes. But ultimately, the decision to send, that's ours. So as long as we are in charge, and I'm sure that's the way it will be. So we humans will be in charge, and AI will do all the pre-work for us, and ultimately we will take the final decision. So our AI might present us 2-3 options, and then we will choose which option we want to choose. So that control humans can retain and things should retain, but it is a possibility that the worst case scenario is that some of a smart robot or smart AI computer can actually be so smart that it can overrule humans. So it can be an unethical AI. So, but the people who are writing the logic algorithm for AI, that's humans. So humans have to make sure the ethical part of that. So if I'm a corrupt guy, or if I'm an evil guy, or if I want a terrorist, so I can use AI to have a terrorist AI supposed to support terrorism, or AI to support bad things. So humans have to make sure that the people who are writing the AI codes, the algorithms, they also make sure it's ethical code behind it. So AI basically does what we program it to do. So we have to make sure that we have our own whatever values, moral we have to layer that. So we have to be careful that the people writing AI code, they are ethical and they have good values.
Hey, very good. Because that's the way to ensure that AI don't overtake us and don't overtake the world in the sense that that's in a bad way. They take over the world in a good way, but in combination with us controlling them.
Right. In partnership
Okay,
with us. So we are in the control.
exactly.
I am the driver in the car, but the car is, let's say, autonomous car. So car it'll be safer to drive an autonomous car because it has so many cameras, and it will not get tired, and it will be more alert than humans are. But some human is sitting in the car, so sometimes in case that it makes a bad decision, I can correct. No, don't follow this. Go this route. So there's always a human controlled AI will be the best thing, and that is what I think we're moving towards.
Exactly. And my next question to you is, do you feel like have taken some jobs though, like manual work, and they have created a problem now in employment, but people were, maybe not have the best of education to do other things, but could do this basic manual, repetitive work, are now out of work, and it has created a problem. Do you think that's
Yeah,
do you think that's true?
such transition has happened earlier too. So when we move from agriculture to industrial and industrial to services, so the transition always happens, and there will be always a cost in transition. So let's say I'm going to from San Francisco to Delhi. I will get out of my home, take a car, and then go to the airport, and then get in the airport. But in each of the transition point, there's always some sort of wastage or some sort of risk. So as I'm getting out of my car, there is a chance that I might get hit by something. So there'll always be transition. These transition points always has some cost, but by humans, it has a lot of humans have lost the jobs, but they have moved to better jobs, more fulfilling jobs. Earlier, humans were doing some manual work which they did not want to do, but they had to do so that they can earn a living. Now, less of boring, repetitive work by humans, and more of meaningful work humans can take. Like
So
managing a robot. So robot will do all the job, but I, with my remote control, if I'm managing the robot, so that's what I will do. So that will be more interesting, I think.
okay, so it's a way of it's kind of finding another alternative on how to find that person a job, finding them another route.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. No, that was very interesting and very good conversation as well. Quite a debate there. So thank you very much, Atul. Well done. Veena, have you arrived to your destination?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. You've arrived at your destination. Okay, so what do you think about AI? Do you think they will take over the world one day?
No, it's not possible. They are made by men. Human being made AI. It's not possible to take over human being.
It's not going to be possible to take over human beings.
Yes, because we have created them. They are not the creators.
Okay, but do you think we are creating them to, to such an extent? So we are creating them to do such complex things, and we are making them so intelligent that they might one day turn against us.
They can do everything. Like anything we say to them, they can do it. But the creator is more important.
Okay, so we will always, you think even though because we create them to do what we want, we will always have control over them.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think about, I don't know if you heard it, about China, for example, where they've, so many companies have given their control to their own AI
Yes, I have heard.
and have kicked out. Yes. What do you think about that?
Like for some extent, it's good for hard work, but the human brain is more important, and human can work more e- efficiently than the AIs. What I believe,
Mhm. Yes.
because you can program AI to a extent. If something extra happens at doing that work, they can't do it on the spot. They have to be programmed once again. But
And do you, yes, carry on,
but
sorry.
human brain is works on the spot. If something happens, they can solve
Okay,
it on the spot.
okay. And do you think, having AI now, do you think we are tampering with the idea of possibly also giving them some sort of human emotion? Do you think it's a good idea?
No, it's not a good idea. AI are helpful for us, but for some extent. But we are neglecting the people who are good and efficient in doing work.
Okay, yes, exactly. And they're being neglected. So AI, I can't in a way, what I'm trying to say is AI are taking over the world to some extent because they are taking over some jobs.
Yes,
Now, as I said, to some extent. Now
some
they are
extent they are
leaving
taking jobs.
people right now. Exactly. They are taking jobs. So people, we now have a problem of unemployment because we have created AI.
Yes, there is a problem of
So
unemployment due to the AIs.
I mean, so how far are we going to take this? Are we going to are we going to come to a stage where humans are completely out of work, or our work is just controlling AIs and making sure that they don't make mistakes? Are we going to come to that stage?
Like if you talk about India, in India, like people are working hard, and we are not working with the AIs, so we are not having this issue. But in the world, people are having this issue of unemployment due to the AIs, and I think so. They are doing good work which human being can't do. Like when it's destroying a bomb, when we send a AI to destroy a bomb,
Mm-hmm.
if it fails, the AI dies, not a human being dies. So for these things, we can use them for destroying bombs and for bomb squad,
Yes.
or for putting off the fires and everything. For these things, we can use AI,
Mm-hmm.
where human life can be saved.
And it's good to use them there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But obviously they are causing some issues in areas where they are causing some unemployment. Because as Atul said, it's great if we find another my argument.
Sorry, my network gone. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Bina?
Yeah.
Can I explain again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to
So-
jump in? Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to explain it back to you. So what I'm saying is that very often, as per historical experiences, technology changes. So we move from walking to running to moving on a bicycle and rickshaw, or led to motorcycle, then car and airplane and stuff. So technology evolves. So the people doing the jobs in the older industry, they lost jobs. So people who were driving rickshaw, for example, in India, would lose job because people have moved from rickshaw to auto rickshaw, or from auto rickshaw to cars, rental cars. So as technology evolves, people who are doing job in a slightly lower skill job, or the lower technology, they lose job, but new jobs created in a higher technology job, the more efficient means of production creation. So what it does is mean that society will benefit because we are moving from less efficient technology to better technology. But the transition has some cost. So it will take some time for people who are driving, let's say, auto rickshaws, or the people who are driving uh, auto rickshaws, for them to jump to a car or buy a car, because it like more money. Or from people even driving car, they are also losing job because now Uber and Ola, other things have come in. So this transition has a cost. Not everybody is able to quickly jump to the new technology or the new way of production. So in the transition, a lot of people will lose jobs, and it's the job of, I think, governments to make sure that the pain of transition is managed by various social schemes. Did I answer you, Vinaji? You meaning the same?
Yes.
Fantastic. Veena?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have anything to say back to that, or?
No. Atul sir said right. It's the government who has to decide what work should be
I think
given
you
to
have,
the AI.
okay. I think you're having some connection issues, Veena, because you're coming and going.
Yes, I am having some network issue here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So do you understand Atul's point? Do you agree with it?
Yes, I agree with Atul sir point.
What's your take on that?
I agree with his point.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Let's move on to, well done, Veena. Let's move on to Simran. Simran.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
I am fine. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So what do you think about AI? Do you think they will take over the world one day?
Yes, ma'am. It is possible for AI to take over the world right now. AI doesn't fare that well outside of a very well.
Okay, why is it possible to take over the world right now? How? Can you give me a bit more?
I can't explain.
Okay, so is there a reason why you think they can take over the world? Is it, do you think they have a power? Do you think there is something that we've not discovered yet about them, even though we've created them? What is it that makes you think that they can definitely take over the world? Okay, let's move on to another question. Do you think that they are causing problems to humans, their job?
Yeah. So many problems.
Huh? Why? Any ideas why? Any stories? Can you relate to this topic with me? Have you heard any stories or read anything?
money problem, and
Problems exactly? Can you expand a bit more on that? Any idea?
no, ma'am.
Sorry, I had gone with my family. What is the question?
So I'm asking how they're causing money problems and family problems, because Timran said AI are causing many problems, including family problems and money problems, and I was trying to get her to expand a bit more and say why these problems have arisen. What I would like to touch up on, an interesting point, is when I was looking at research about this, AI and neuroscience researchers, so people who understand about the brain and how it works and emotions and all that, agree that current forms of AI cannot have their own emotions, but they can mimic emotions such as empathy. So they can present to us an emotion. They cannot feel it, but they can present it. They can act it to a way. They can mimic. It will sound and look like it. It's not real emotion, but it is there. Now, the scary thing is that another article said that humans can eventually start to possibly fall in love with an AI, like the series Her, if you're watching it, Vina, on Netflix. So it can actually come to that. So it's a bit scary when you start reading things like this. So let me just see, Anisha, what do you think? Do you think they are going to take over the world? Do you think these things are scary? Do you think we are going to be in control still, like the tool things? Or do you think this may possibly go out of hand, if you believe that?
They are not actually going to take over the world, but they are gradually doing so. And yes, uh, as few of the speakers have already said, that we are the only creator of AI. So until we develop all that features in it, it won't. So, but yeah, as Simran even pointed out, that they are taking the jobs of many workers, the ones, especially in India. In India, if we set up a AI based technology in farming sector, then a number of farmers will be losing their jobs, their daily bread earning sources. So that is horrifying, to be very honest. And not only in AI technology has AI
Yes.
technology has already taken a good step. Like when I there is a place in India known as Vishakhapatnam. It is in Andhra Pradesh. Over there, there are few restaurants which has AI based robots which are serving food. So they are taking the actual place of the managers and everyone out there. They are
Okay.
serving the
And is this a good thing? Because now we've ended up with unemployment because of them.
Yeah, people are losing, they are losing their basic bread earning source.
So, I mean, so in a way, they are taking over the world, like you said, in a way. They're not taking over the world like world domination. We're going
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
president. We're
That
going to
is,
rule you.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
but they are taking over the world bit by bit by
Yeah,
taking
gradually they are.
our economy and maybe our, because jobs don't just give us money. Jobs not only give us money, but it give us a certain amount of
Yeah, that was I was
self-worth.
like that was my today's research work as given by our university. So which it means we don't only work for money. We even work for our self actualization, our ego, our esteem. So
Exactly.
when people lose a job, they lose all the key factors, which is essential for living a livelihood.
So, so are they? Do you think that we are going to end up in a worse situation with time, or do you think we can actually control this?
We won't be ending up in a worse situation, but we can surely take a control over it. Like, yeah, if where the need is, we can put them over there, and unnecessarily wasting resource in making them and then using it is just waste of time as well as resources. So where it is needed, it is okay. It is good that it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Like in some of the movies, as it is shown that they are helpful in some way or the other. But yeah, for that's completely in our control, as Veena ma'am said earlier, that we are the ones who create them. So we are the ones who can even destroy them.
So we are the ones who can keep control, really.
Yeah, that control cursor is in our hand.
I like
Okay.
to share something on a different perspective, just because
Yes.
everybody's agreeing. Many of us might have heard of that Frankenstein story.
Yes.
So Frankenstein, the creator of Frankenstein went out of control, and it became a dangerous person. And in Hindi also, India would have heard something like called Bhasmasur. So this called a, I would say not a devil or something like that. A bad person, a very powerful force was created called Bhasmasur. So whatever it touches, it will destroy it. Bhasmasur was a very powerful person. And gods created Bhasmasur. And then literally it went out of control, and they would start destroying even gods. So that Bhasmasur possibility is a possibility. Even in AI can become a Bhasmasur. So some bad people use AI to have such a way to control the world. AI might want to control the world and want to have humans as slaves. That's also possible. I'm just giving just one
Yeah, that
possibility. I'm not
is
saying it
true,
would happen.
because there is one Bollywood movie named as Robot and Robot 2.0, where it shows, where it actually projects how the AI will be taking over the world, and even it was their choice to take over the world and the lady whom he loved.
So
So true.
both are possible. So AI can be used for a lot of social good, but AI can also go out of hand, and it can also be used to control the world and harm people. So both are possibilities.
I want to say
Okay.
something, but at the end, in both the
Yes.
movies, the human killed the AI. In Robot 1 and 2,
Yeah,
Because it
that's
was
what
a
I
movie.
said, because the cursor will is it
the
with
human,
our in
if
it,
we,
it is in
yeah,
our
it's
hand.
in our hand, Atul sir. If we have created, we can destroy them.
What I'm saying, in the movie, both the movies at the end, in all movies, the hero wins at the end and the villains loses. But in reality, that's not the case. Very often, a lot of bad villains, they win. I will give you a controversial example. Like in United States, we had a president, Donald Trump, who was a very dangerous person, corrupt person, but he became a president and he harmed a lot of people. So the stories we watch in movies often, or our books are often designed to have a happy ending. The real world always doesn't have a happy ending. What's your take on that?
Okay. Well, this has caused quite a debate in class, which I, I'm really excited about because it got you all talking and very energized. So it's been a really good session, and I'm really pleased with it. I hope you've all enjoyed the session, because it's brought out a lot of different ideas, and also some quarrels here going on in a sense of a debate. So some good debating over here, and speaking your own minds and giving your own opinions, which was lovely to see. And I actually, at this very end, I mean, I ended up shutting up and letting you go at each other with all your different opinions, which is lovely. I hope you've all enjoyed this session and found it helpful. And I'm quite interested to see what Vishal says after this session to you. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to another session like this tomorrow. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Bye, guys.